Hello, Golden State Warriors fans. Welcome back to the channel where we go deeper than the headlines and talk about what really matters, the future of this franchise, the emotions behind the moves, and the players whose careers are hanging in the balance. If you're passionate about the Warriors, about winning, about loyalty and ambition, then this video is for you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates as we break down a situation that could change the course of this team's future. Today's topic: Jonathan Kuminga. Once viewed as a cornerstone of the Warriors' next era, now caught in a web of stalled negotiations, front office tensions, and trade rumors that won't go away. The air is thick with uncertainty. Is this the end of Kuminga in the Bay? Or just the painful beginning of a new chapter? What we know so far is this: Kuminga turned down a 2-year, $45 million extension from the Warriors. That's not pocket change. But it wasn't about the money, it was about the message. In asking for a longer-term deal worth around $82 million, Kuminga sent a clear signal: he wants security, validation, and a central role. But instead of an agreement, what he got was silence. Talks have stalled. The Warriors front office has hit pause, not just on Kuminga's deal but on nearly everything. And that's where the Real story begins. Because behind this contract stalemate lies something deeper. Something fractured. This is not just about numbers on paper, it's about trust. It's about timing. It's about whose vision is leading this team forward. And right now, no one seems to have a firm grip on the wheel. The trade rumors have already started circling like vultures. The Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings have both reportedly made sign-and-trade offers. But the Warriors rejected them. Why? Either the assets coming back weren't good enough, or they demanded too much in return, including key pieces like Moses Moody. That refusal tells us one thing: Golden State still believes in the value of what they have. Or at the very least, they don't want to lose 2 lottery picks from 2021 in one fell swoop. Not yet. But what does that say about Kuminga's place in this system? According to Kendrick Perkins, this tension may have roots going all the way back to draft night. Perkins revealed something that shook the foundation of Warrior Nation: Kuminga wasn't Steve Kerr's guy. He wasn't even current GM Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s guy. He was Bob Myers' guy. The former architect of the dynasty, now gone. That changes everything. Think about it. If the coach didn't push for him, and the current front office isn't emotionally invested in his future, then who is in Kuminga's corner? That might explain the inconsistent role. The limited playoff minutes. The lack of a clear developmental plan. Compare that to Brandon Podziemski, a player drafted by Dunleavy Jr., who received steady opportunities and rising trust last season. There's a pattern here, and Kuminga's stuck on the outside of it. Now enter Richard Jefferson. The former NBA champion made a comparison that turned heads: Jonathan Kuminga is today's James Harden, at least in Oklahoma City. A young, gifted player overshadowed by stars, whose full potential remained locked away until he left. Harden didn't truly become Harden until he was traded. Jefferson believes Kuminga could have the same trajectory. A breakout star, just waiting for the right system, the right spotlight. But maybe it's not just about being stuck behind stars. Maybe it's the very system itself. Jefferson went further and called out the Warriors' style of play as a roadblock. That Stephen Curry system, he said, is tailor-made for one of the smartest, most selfless, and dynamic players in NBA history. But it's also incredibly demanding. It requires movement without the ball, quick reads, elite decision-making. For a young player still learning the game at the NBA level, it can be suffocating. And that may be what's happening to Kuminga. The Warriors fanbase and media aren't unified on this either. Some say Kuminga hasn't earned the big contract. That his inconsistencies are his own doing. That he hasn't developed fast enough to demand star money. Others say he's being misused. That his flashes of brilliance are being ignored. That he's being set up to fail in a system never designed for him. Analysts can't even agree on whether he's a building block or a trade chip. And that's a dangerous place for any young player to be. Behind all this noise is a deeper truth about the direction of the Warriors. The infamous two-timeline strategy, the plan to win now with Curry while developing the next generation, seems to be unraveling. The pressure to capitalize on Steph's remaining prime years is real. The clock is ticking. And that urgency puts players like Kuminga at risk of being sacrificed for short-term gain. There's one line the front office doesn't seem willing to cross, yet. When Sacramento reportedly asked for Moses Moody in a trade package, Golden State declined. That signals something important. They may be open to moving Kuminga, but not if it means losing both Moody and Kuminga in one summer. Moody is seen as a steady, high-character player with room to grow and fit into the system. He's become the line in the sand. But while all this drama unfolds, other opportunities are slipping away. The Warriors have delayed moves in free agency while Kuminga's future remains unresolved. Veterans like Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, and Seth Curry have all been linked to the team, but concerns about age, injuries, and fit persist. The Warriors can't commit to the next steps until they settle the current mess. And that puts the entire offseason in a holding pattern. Inside the locker room, whispers are turning into questions. Sources say there's a growing gap in philosophy between Kuminga and the organization. He wants to be a star. A primary option. He believes in himself. And that's not a bad thing. But Golden State isn't structured to give him that role right now. Not with Curry, not with the current coaching staff, and not with this system. That creates identity tension. And identity tension, when left unresolved, becomes culture rot. So what happens next? That's the million-dollar question. Kuminga has a few options on the table. He could get traded to a team ready to build around him. Teams like Orlando, Toronto, or Utah are reportedly keeping tabs. Each of those organizations has the patience, spacing, and developmental resources to unlock his game. Or he could sign a short-term deal, stay with the Warriors, and re-enter free agency in 2026. But that comes with risk of stagnation, of injury, of being benched behind veterans again. Or maybe, just maybe, the Warriors and Kuminga find common ground, reset expectations, and give this one more shot. But the clock is ticking. And not just on Kuminga. On Curry. On Kerr. On the entire dynasty window. Because at the heart of all this is one truth Warriors fans must wrestle with: you can't win forever with yesterday's formula. At some point, you either adapt, or you fade. And maybe Kuminga's saga is the painful proof of that. A talented young player caught in the middle of a franchise at a crossroads, screaming for a role that doesn't exist, at least not here. Not now. But whether you believe in Kuminga or not, one thing is undeniable: he's got potential. The kind that doesn't come around often. And if the Warriors let him walk away without unlocking that, they may regret it for a long, long time. Let us know in the comments: should the Warriors trade Kuminga? Should they extend him? Or is it time to finally pick a side in this two-timeline dilemma and commit? Like the video if you care about the future of this team. Subscribe for more updates on everything Golden State. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in this unfolding story. Because trust us, this is far from over. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel: study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.